Alright, welcome back to another installment of what I've been playing. Alright, this time we're going to be covering everything I played in the month of June, as well as any pickups I got in the month of June 2025. Now, interesting that I noted in my first installment of this series that I'm generally not the kind of person who's got big hauls of games that they're bringing in every month. You know, it'd be a couple games here or there. That's why I'm not making separate videos just for pickups. I'm just batching them in the front of these. But ironically, I have a big stack of games here. Like, I've been splurging way too much, honestly, the last month, so I'm really going to dial it down, I think. I did also buy a few digital games, and already in the beginning of July, I bought a good amount of digital games as well on the Switch 2 summer sale. And so I'll mention a couple of them once I get through the physical stuff. But all in all, let's get through it. First off, I do want to highlight Mario Party Star Rush. Mario Party Star Rush. I mentioned briefly in the last video that I am kind of on a mission to get all the Mario Party games. All the ones that I'm missing, which happen to be a bunch of the handheld random weird ones that aren't received well at all, like this one. But if I can get them at an affordable price, I will. And so eventually I want to be able to go through all the Mario parties in order, because that's just how I'm wired. I don't know why. But so looking forward to that one, even though they're not received well. Like, I've never played a handheld Mario Party game. So I got Mario Party DS the month before. And I got Mario Party Star Rush. Mario Party Advance is one I didn't even know existed until very recently, so I'd like to get that at some point. Plus the couple other 3DS ones. So first off here, I'm going in order of when I got these generally, and then I'll throw in the digital ones at the end. But here, Mario Kart World, and obviously with this came the Switch 2 as well. I didn't feel like lugging the box up here. I had a stack full of games I was maneuvering, but Mario Kart World. First of all, shout out to the Switch 2. They went for generally the same style, but this is the key difference right here. A unique spine. Come on. The Switch cases are an absolute eyesore, especially when you see them next to other game cases, and it's like they stick out like a sore red thumb. Just red. You can't distinguish a thing. You have to get up on them, read the names like it's a, not even like it's a library. Libraries, they have more interesting spines. All right, so shout out to them for why do I have a scratch on this? Shout out to them. Mario Kart World is a great game. It's a great game. I think it's really fun. It's undeniable that it's really fun. I do want to get a chance to play with more people in general. I've only played like one-on-one, like in terms of IRL. I've only played one-on-one like with my brother, my girlfriend, and then jumped online with my brother one time. But other than that, played some random matches online and did a ton of the local stuff, Grand Prix, knockout mode, battle mode, all that. And it's a lot of fun, but it definitely is kind of crossing a line to where it's becoming really annoying more than just fun. I think like it would be more just plain and simple fun if you were playing with all people you know. But if you go online on Knockout Tour with randoms, it's just a bloodbath, and it feels like whether you're winning or losing, it doesn't feel earned. There are literally times where I've been blue shelled in first place, dropped all the way out in knockout mode, and I'm out just like that. And the constant bullet bills, mega mushrooms, stars flying constantly, it is a lot, and everybody's just a giant mass. You get hit by one thing, even a little shell, and you're set back 15 spots. So I do really like a lot of it. There's some missed potential on the whole open world aspect, free roam, but overall really like it, and still have to get in there with some friends more. So that's where the game is going to shine even more, I feel like. Next is a bunch of a little batch of games from, there's a retro game store not too far from me, which at first I was like, oh wow, I never thought there was any retro game stores near me. And this one's only 30 minutes away. This is great. But you go there and the prices aren't great. Like for instance, a game I have coming up, it's like it was kind of cheaper just to get online, like even to get on eBay or Amazon, that kind of thing. Like they were pricing things a little too high. You weren't getting any steals or any really good deals. But I did get, they had a buy 3 get 1 free on the wall of games, so I probably won't go back there unless I see something's there that really stands out, but just the prices aren't really worth it to go back there for the most part. But essentially I got a couple weird games. A lot of times my biggest thing I collect for is GameCube, but Wii is another that I really like, particularly some of these weirder ones that I want to try out. For example, this game I'd never heard of before in my life. Defendin' the Penguin. What a beautiful name. It does not look good at all. It looks like maybe it's some sort of tower defense game. Strategy and wits will defend the Penguin Town. But for the name alone, just have Defendin' the Penguin. I don't know. That was an easy sell for me. I also got Knack, which I have heard good things about as a platformer on the PlayStation 4, and looking for more of those. So looking forward to this one. Let me know if I should play it. Pac-Man Party. This is another weird thing that I'm kind of drawn to, are these janky ass party games that are usually 9 times out of 10 they're horrible, but they just stick out to me. Like I want to play that. I want to play a good party game on the Wii, or a bad one. But Pac-Man Party was kind of on my list that I was eyeing up for some time. I don't know why, but it's always pretty cheap. The last one is Squeeballs Party. It's another party game, but it's just so weird. It's so weird looking. This is just my taste, you know? It is what it is. So that's all that I got at that retro game store. This other batch is from a local yard sale. All the games, they're like, they were in condition. But I actually forget, since I've gotten so many games recently, I forget exactly what the deal was for these. But it was very cheap. I want to say it was 15 for all these, so you let me know what you think of this deal. Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy on Xbox One. I think I might have this digitally in PS4, but it didn't hurt. Like as you can see, they had the price $3 on here, so all these were different prices, but as a batch they're just like, well, F it, we'll do 15 for that. We got Doom on Xbox One, and a lot of these are ones I would prefer on PS4, but maybe this could be an excuse to play my Xbox One that I never have played. Mafia Definitive Edition, Resident Evil Village, and lastly Marvel Spider-Man 2. You see, this one alone they were charging 10 for, but then got this whole bunch all together for 15. So I haven't played the original yet, and I don't have Miles Morales yet, but it was literally just because it was so cheap. Why not? And this one is in the best condition of all these. So, because I'll definitely play it at some point, so it'll be good to have. He also just threw in, for the heck of it, he was like, for free, I'll throw in this Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy little guidebook. Alright, why not? So, I mean, can't be mad at it. Again, I would prefer probably all these games on PS4 in an ideal world, but can't be mad at it with that price. Next up is a game called Billion Road. This one really piqued my interest. Essentially, shout out to the Runaway guys, who they just play games together, but they're kind of known for doing Mario Party games. Like they play through a lot of the Mario Party series at this point. And then they've played games like Fortune Street, Dokapon Kingdom, which are like Mario Party adjacent board game video games. And this is a random one I hadn't heard of that they played that looked like that. It looked like, it's kind of described as Pokemon meets Mario Party kind of thing. Now, I played this session with my brother, a pretty lengthy one, like 3 or 4 hours or something, and it did not live up to expectations. To be fair, I did not watch the Runaway guys play this. I just saw that they had played it, and that was enough, because I was like, I want to experience it myself first. Let me get in there and surprise myself. But mostly, it felt like some BS, and wasn't that compelling. I think it was really missing some special sauce. Like, it was missing that mini game element, which you don't need in all games. Like Fortune Street, you don't really need it in there. But Fortune Street has more going on that you have control over. This is just like, you're moving around. You can get little creatures to follow you that can do things for you. But then you can really get robbed out of, like, it really doesn't feel super earned. So maybe it was missing more of a little bit of a skill element like that. That's all I'm thinking. Next up is Grand Theft Auto, the trilogy. Now, this was just a random pick. For some reason, I just had a compulsion to play these Grand Theft Auto games. I was thinking Grand Theft Auto 6 is coming out. I did dabble a good amount in Grand Theft Auto 5 online, but other than that, I've only played a minute or two of these random Grand Theft Autos. I do have all these on the PlayStation 2, but I was like, I would love much more to play it on PS4, and I was kind of thinking maybe I could go through the series if I'm like liking it. And so I wanted to have the option to do so. So I went and got this. Great. And this last one is a batch. It is another batch. Legitimately, this is a great deal that I got. The first one, this is all from one seller that I got as a little bit of a lot. But I want to say the first one that I was eyeing up was this, the Uncharted Nathan Drake collection. Because I played the original Uncharted, but I haven't played the other two yet. So I kind of want to go back, maybe play the original Uncharted on here, and then play the other two in a more modern system here. But I wanted this. He had it for $10. That's already a pretty good price for this, so I was fine with that. I want this. But then I saw he had a couple other games for cheap. This one, Star Ocean The Last Hope International, which I didn't have a particular interest in, but just saw it was on there for $5, and you can't be mad at that. A lot of stuff you can't be mad at. And also Rampage Total Destruction on the Wii was also $5 listed on there. Yakuza Like a Dragon Steelbook Edition was listed for $15. And you want to guess how much I got this all for? $20. $20. Come on. I got this game essentially for free. And this was the most expensive one. 10, 5, and 5. When I said I wanted these three initially, I was like, okay, so 20 for all. I wasn't even trying to negotiate. I was like, that was good enough for me. But he's like, no, I'll make it 15 if you buy 3. And then I asked, what if I threw in this one? How much would it be then? Oh, I'll give it to you for 20. Somehow this one got in there for just $5. Crazy. Again, another like preference thing. I did want to get this on PS5 because it's available on there, but Steelbook Edition, PS4, not mad at it, and at that price, great. Another thing about this in particular, these are the best condition I've ever seen anything from a seller like this where you meet them in person. So this was through Facebook Marketplace, which doesn't have like a great track record of having good deals. So first of all, the best deals I've seen, actually only person at reasonable prices and maybe 2 reasonable prices, and also pristine condition. Like they treat their games like I treat my games, like really, really well. So I literally told this guy, like, if you have any more games you feel like giving up, let me know. Like, tell me directly, because hook me up. Because it seems like this was just stuff from his personal collection that he was just giving up now. It's not like he's a reseller going out, getting a ton of stuff and selling it. It was just out of his personal collection, and he was very reasonable with it. Very respectful. Great experience. Can't beat that. I think this is a great deal. You let me know what you think. And as far as digitally, I'll let you know what I bought this month. Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour, which I'll talk about a little bit in what I was playing. Really was just for a review on Tarkaron. Choo Choo Charles, also for a review on Tarkaron. Born of Bread, which is like a Paper Mario style RPG, which I'm always tempted by. That was on sale. Hollow Knight on the Switch. I've been eyeing it up for the longest time. I want a physical version, but it was just so cheap on sale. Like $10 to $15, somewhere around there. And so, like, you know what? It would be great. I have a Switch 2. Give me just... It might be original Switch games, but it'll just give me a reason to play it more. Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time, which was the Nintendo Switch 2 edition. I really liked Fantasy Life on the 3DS, and started dabbling with this one. I'll talk about that soon. And that's it for now. The next batch of ones I got on sale, I bought right at July 1st, so that'll be the next month's video. But now it's time to get into what I've actually been playing. A good amount of games on here, some I only briefly touched on, so I'll try to go at a steady pace here. I completely just realized that I mixed up like some of the games I talked about as if I was talking about games I was currently playing, and then some I talked about as if they were pickups. So the first one, Yooka-Laylee, I did not touch on yet. Yooka-Laylee I mentioned in the first edition of this, and then in June I did finish Yooka-Laylee, and I have mixed feelings on that game. Not a lot of positive, if I'm being honest. It was just kind of annoying at times. Very janky. Felt poorly designed in places. Definitely unpolished is how I would describe it. There's like glimmers, moments, shades of brilliance in there, but they're few and far between, I think. Nice little nods to things, but even like the stuff like the minecart levels, which I was like, ooh, this is gonna be fun, ended up being more annoying than anything, and it just didn't work for me. And so I'm glad I saw it through to the end, because you do see more of the moments where the game shines, for sure. Some of the more redeeming qualities of it, but at the same time, it's nothing groundbreaking for me personally. Sorry, Rusty. But yeah, another one I talked about, Mario Kart World. I basically already talked about this, but yeah, I want to play this with friends online more. Another one is Deadly Creatures. I forget if I mentioned this last month or not. This was also, along with Yooka-Laylee, this was a part of a Gents Challenge. This is a backlog challenge we do on my Discord with the gaming community, where you're usually paired up with someone and they assign you games to play off of your backlog. And this was one of them, the unexpected one for me to be assigned, really. This is something where I find the overall experience not to be stellar, but it's pretty good, and I see why it is a hidden gem. And then there's really moments of it. It's like, wow, this is like, I totally get it. It's almost cinematic in nature, which was unique for a game like this on the Wii. And just some funny bits and some little bit of clever gameplay mechanics in the mix, but some really janky. There was one part where I thought I would be stuck forever in the game because one of the enemies faced through the ground, and it's like I couldn't get him to come back, even coming back in the area, and I'm like, oh shoot. Eventually got him out and was able to progress. But yeah, another maybe unpolished, but a hidden gem in some ways. It's funny, and the final scene with Billy Bob Thornton and Dennis Hopper, that's funny. The shenanigans and the essential final boss of this game is very funny mechanic. Next this month, along with the Nintendo Switch Online, I started dabbling in. I spoiled it right in the lead. Along with the Nintendo Switch 2, I've been dabbling with Nintendo Switch Online for the first time. I'd never used it. But I was like, Nintendo Switch 2, the pickings are slim in terms of what to play. You got Mario Kart World and you got Welcome Tour. It's not great. So let me get into the Nintendo Switch Online. I'm like, oh wow, this is cool. I'm glad I upgraded my membership for this. This is worth it. I mean, it's fun playing some of these classic games. I wish they could get a bigger selection on some things, but it's cool for like N64. They have a great selection, even just the few they have. But so a couple that I've dabbled in were Tetris. I love me some Tetris in any form, so I just played some OG Tetris on there. Love that. Harvest Moon, the original Harvest Moon, I've never played. The Super Nintendo version. I've never played the Nintendo 64 version either. Those are easily the two most aged, most dated of Harvest Moon games, and probably farming sims in general. So I would have loved to see it through longer. So, but I don't know. I haven't been back to it since I dabbled in it early in the month. So, but it's still charming. I'd like to play more for sure. Super Metroid, I started, and I really wanted to stick with it. I don't know why. I just got caught up in playing so many different games. It got lost in the shuffle. But that's an all-timer that I really would like to see through. So I definitely hope to revisit that one soon. Life is Strange 2. I believe I mentioned this last time. And last time I was optimistic that I would have Life is Strange 2 finished, and maybe also The Walking Dead: A New Frontier finished, or maybe I had it flipped. But I didn't play The Walking Dead: A New Frontier. I keep messing up the name. It's just The Walking Dead: The Final Season. I haven't played The Walking Dead: The Final Season at all this month. So drop the ball on that. I need to get back into my flow, beat that and this, because I had a good thing going. And I am enjoying this game so far right here. Both of them, really. But really hope to get back to this soon. Just really what the case is, I started playing my Switch 2, and I just got caught up in the convenience of, all these games that are quick to pull up. I can do it on the go or on the TV really easily, and it just always seems like more of a process to get into something like this, especially a narrative-based game like this, whereas some of the other Switch 2 games and those NSO games are more in and out more easily. Another NSO game I played was Mario Tennis on the N64. Even before this, on the Wii U, I have it on the Wii Virtual Console, which now resides on my Wii U. But I played it so much on there, trying to beat it, and I could never beat it, and I still could not for the life of me beat it. Like, for some reason, these harder rounds, like the championship round, I think it was the championship round of the Final Cup I got up to when I played it on the Wii, and I just could not get past it. They were too good for me, and I don't know what it is. Like, it feels like it's so simple. There's only so much you can do in these gameplay mechanics, but I just can't keep up. So that's one I've never been able to check off my backlog. Still sitting there, still to this day. Did even worse when I played it on the Switch. Another game that I played through kind of in one sitting in its entirety is WarioWare Inc. Mega Microgames. I really love the WarioWare games. Yeah, I really love the WarioWare games, but you can see even in that, like, I finished it in one like few hour batch. Like, there's never been a WarioWare game with a good amount of content. It's always very short, very slim in content. Obviously, they're micro games, so you're going through them quick, but even something like Atari Mania had more content than that. But I really enjoyed this one. It's one of my favorite WarioWare games for sure. It's the Game Boy Advance one, so playing that on NSO. And definitely glad I played through it. So there's some charming games in there. Here's a random one. Have you heard of it? Citus Alpha. A really weird rhythm game. I still need to get to the bottom of this. I need to ask my friend Blink, because I know he's a big rhythm game guy. Have you played this game? Blink. Citus Alpha. I had eyed this up for the longest time just because the aesthetic is so unique. It doesn't look like a rhythm game at all, and just like the white with like subtle black, very minimalist style, and like just cryptic look to it. And then when you get in the game, it's very confusing. Even the layout is confusing, like how maybe it was a translation thing, but how the layout of the menu is, you can't even really tell out the gate what the main menu is. The main mode you're supposed to click into. But then you get into it and you learn that when you play these tracks, you uncover little pieces of like data logs, which are like the story of the game, but are really just like pieces, elements of some sort of world where people are transferring their consciousnesses into robots and whatnot. It's like a futuristic world, but it's so vague and weird. The vibes are weird. Like, for the most part, I think the vibes are cool, but it's just weird because some of the tracks are super like chipper, like chibi style, or like really cutesy, and then you got really super like grunge hardcore. For the most part, it's like an electronic music style, but it's just mixed vibes all throughout. I don't know if there's an explanation for it, because I know this is like not the first of its kind. There were Citus games that I think kind of got compiled into this, if I'm correct on that. Yeah, the original Citus reborn with a brand new look. Bunch of different songs. It's an interesting style. It's kind of similar to Theater Rhythm and how it operates with the different circles, and then you have to hold and drag and different things like that. There's a touchscreen mode and a clicking mode. I only use the buttons, but I'm glad because you can only have, like, it's only easy or hard, I think, for the two difficulties. So I've never been like a hard difficulty rhythm gamer, so I just went with easy. I usually would go with normal. I went with easy, and sometimes the notes were flying, but this game is very generous with the button presses, so you can kind of, to a certain extent, just spam the button because it doesn't punish you. It's not like Guitar Hero where if you do a strum where there's no note, then you'll lose your streak or whatever, or it'll negatively impact your score. It's not like that. There's like no consequences for clicking when there's no notes, so you can essentially spam once you get frazzled, and it usually get out of it okay. Sometimes with a perfect streak, when there's just a tons of notes flying. But for the most part, it's a cool system, and most of the songs are pretty chill. But there's just certain ones where it just start spamming notes, and like, okay, mash that thing. Let me know your thoughts if you played this. Weird one. Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour is one I really didn't have any respect for. I thought it was actually insulting that, like, I spent $10 mostly for the meme of it because we went to review it on Tarkaron. It's like, instead of reviewing the big game like Mario Kart World, let's review Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. So you can check that out for my more detailed thoughts. But ultimately, I felt it to be very corporate feeling, and like almost like it's almost like Nintendo propaganda. You know, look at all these outdated technology we've had in the past, and let's talk about how great that was and how revolutionary that was. Like going through like WeSpeak, Wi-Fi connection. Look at all this amazing technology we had, and then really glazing itself. I said this a lot in the review, but I really feel it that way. The way that it would like make you take quizzes and study up on little bits of Nintendo history, where they're really glazing. If you go to different parts of the controllers, just like, wow, look at this, look at how we managed to make a normal ass controller. Isn't that impressive? I don't know, just the vibes were off. If this was a packing game, I wouldn't really be complaining at all. I'd be like, oh, it's kind of weird, but it's a packing game, I'm not complaining, and it's cool for that. But for me, the mini games themselves weren't that fun. Some of them were really frustrating, actually, and overall, just the feel was off, considering I just paid for a game that should never have had to pay for. But that's it. Born of Bread, I mentioned, only very briefly played that, so I want to get back to that one. Not sure if it's good at all or not, so not enough of an impression even to say that. Choo Choo Charles is another one that we did review over on Tarkaron. It was part of a series called Bargain Bin, which is where you pick a $5 or less video game for us to play. Just put in at least 3 hours that week, and then we come back and talk about it. And so we both played through that game, and you can see our thoughts over there. But overall, just not great. Pretty janky. It's generally like a meme game, so it doesn't take itself too seriously. It's obviously balling with a very low budget. There's shades of some good ideas in there, but ultimately it's a pretty empty world, pretty boring looking world, and some mechanics are better than others. We'll say that. Next up is Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time. This is a game I put in about 10 hours of, I believe. And overall, I'm still not sure entirely how I feel, if I'm completely sold on it or not. I will say, like, it's a very easygoing, lighthearted, more laid-back RPG. Like, I don't think you'll be stressing like to try to keep up level-wise. You can do different classes. I literally dabbled in all of them, so I went and immediately got all the different lives, they're called. My license for all of those, so I can switch around as needed. Which, yeah, I'm not locked in on my feelings on it yet, because my first impressions were like, they're maybe not worth the full price. You know, like $60 or whatever I paid for it. I would definitely be like, this is a wait for it to go on sale game, and I still kind of feel that way. But it's pretty charming, and I just don't know if it goes beyond that for me, so we'll see. Billion Road is another one I mixed up kind of when I was going through my pickups. I talked about this my experience with it. Pretty disappointing. It's one of those ones where I'm like not even tempted to play it again. That's like a second time, but I kind of want to at least play through the single player, see that through. And there you have it. That's gonna be it for this month and what I've been playing. All right, that's just it. Let me know your thoughts on any of the games I named off here. A big stack of pickups as far as I'm concerned. I shouldn't be having stacks like this moving forward. If I can keep myself in check as I should. I think I have one game on the way, and that's about it for now. Donkey Kong Bonanza does come up. It comes out about a week from now, so that'll probably be occupying most of my gaming time when that comes out. So maybe you should really get on this Life is Strange 2 kick, huh? These games are gonna get put on the back burner real quick, huh? Why do I keep saying huh? Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel for more like it. If you want videos all about video games right here on the channel, stay tuned for more.